Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you watched my previous video of me creating a makeup look with one of the palettes that I already have in my collection, then you know that this is a continuation of that series where I decided I was going to start using all of the palettes that I have in my collection before I decide to go out and buy another one. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to buy any new palettes. But what I am saying is that I am going to use all of these palettes that I have in my collection because I need to. So anyway, today's palette is actually another BH Cosmetics palette. And this is my BH Studio Pro Ultimate Artistry Shadow Palette. So that's the palette that I'm using today. And this palette is absolutely gorgeous. I've had this palette since it first came out. I purchased it when it first came out. And I really fell in love with the colors in this palette. As you can see, it's a wide range of colors. And it's kind of a different shift on the Kolorful palette because there's some nice greens and, you know, this light blue in here has the teals and just some warm shades. You also have your smoky as well as cool tones. So this is a great palette to have if you like to be creative. So this is the palette I decided to use today. And this is the look I created with this palette today, a little bit of a green cut crease look. So if you would like to see how I created this look using my BH Cosmetics Artistry palette, stay tuned because that's coming up next.